What's up guys, welcome back to another video and welcome back to F1 Manager 24 for Create a Team. We're here as Hazard Racing, of course, for the Australian Grand Prix. We're going to simulate the Australian Grand Prix. Well, we're going to go through quickly the Australian Grand Prix and then simulate the Japanese Grand Prix, then get through to the Chinese Grand Prix and do that one in full. However, though, we have got upgrades to come onto the car. The upgrade completed on the tool center and chassis has been done, so we are manufacturing that, and also the underfloor has also come through. We're also designing a rear wing, so yep, we're going to do that, and that's going to be done for a couple races time. So then, investing in Zane Maloney. Okay, we'll invest in our own driver, so he has increased. That doesn't make any sense, but okay. We're going to give Zane Maloney 200,000 to increase his development, I guess. So, if so, then surely he'll do better. We're looking at affiliate drivers now, though, and we're looking at Dennis Hauger for the future, maybe. If not, then oh well. But if so, then that will be good. Then also this guy, Joseph Loke or Loake, either one. We're sending him a proposal to be a affiliate driver as well then, and yeah, so we are going to see what we can do then. Race simulator is also upgraded then, and so facilities really looking good now, hopefully, and we can actually start to get, well, we've got a lot of sponsor type ones as well, so that's mainly what we've done. But we're putting the new underfloor on the car, and also a new chassis not been made yet for the Australian Grand Prix. So race targets, of course, we're going to go 14th or 16th, 14th and 20th or 18th, 18th. So we're going to the Australian Grand Prix now.
It's wonderful to be back down under for the Australian Grand Prix. We're a stone's throw from the beach here at the Albert Park circuit. It might be party mood in the grandstands, but in the paddock, expectations and tensions are high. Getting
straight into the action, then here is a crash. It was raining during practice. There is a crash for Juan Manuel Correa in the Williams. A big crash coming out the high-speed chicane, and that put him out of the session. Driver confidence going into qualifying, though, quite high, and we're going to go straight into qualifying.
Now it's time to see who'll come out on top as qualifying gets underway.
These days, it's a much faster layout here at Albert Park, and teams need to focus on getting high and medium speed cornering right to set a good qualifying time.
Aston Martin's driver there, of course. How do you think they'll do today, Karun?
They're not at their best, are they? This dip in confidence is bound to have an impact on their performance, but they'll be doing what they can to turn it around.
Hold on tight, because we're getting underway.
Q1 then, and here we go, and it is nice and sunny now compared to the practice highlights you saw. Albon catching up to Zane Maloney. Hopefully he doesn't. Oh, he does block him. Lovely, very good. So our own teammate has blocked us, but at the end of Q1 with P10 and 13, Leclerc's doing a lap now. We have both crossed the line. Leclerc goes 6th. We are now in 14th and 12th, and we look to be fine and both through to Q2 here for the first time. Well, probably not for the first time, actually, but for this time. Juan Manuel Correa also got a grid penalty for that crash, I would guess. From practice, he had to change his components. Q2, though, now, and Albon has finished his lap. He's 5/10 off Norris, which isn't that bad, really, considering he is in a McLaren. Maloney finishes his lap time. He's a 10th off the Williams Sargent. Coming through to the end of Q2, though, and that's put Albon in 11th and Maloney in 13th. Doing our lap times now. Albon finishes, he's into P9. Can we get a Q3? Actually, both Mercedes and the Red Bull of Perez is out. So we're coming through with Zane Maloney. Can we get a double appearance in Q3? Here we go, Zane Maloney powering down the straight. Gonna see what he can do. He goes to the line and it's P11. A 10th off a double Q3 appearance, but Albon is through to Q3 for the first time. So although Maloney is out in P11, that's not that bad overall then, and it does give us a good chance in the race for some points, hopefully. and Q3 starts off quite well. We're ahead of Verstappen, but that's probably not going to happen for long as we finish our second lap, and it puts us P7, but Verstappen's gone purple, so we're going to see what he does now as he comes to the line. So it's probably going to be P8, and it is P8. Verstappen takes pole position in the end, but P8, very good and very promising for the race. Here we go then. P8 start, surely points, hopefully.
Well, the fans here are all set, every one of them eagerly awaiting the 58 laps of today's race.
Albert Park often seems to set teammate against teammate, from Hill and Villeneuve dueling for the 1996 win, to Bottas beating fellow Mercedes driver and pole sitter Hamilton to the win in 2019.
Albert Park is a deceptively easy track to learn, but it's just as easy to make a mistake around its walled sections and gravel traps. The street circuit is high downforce and just as heavy on brakes as it is on tyres. Well, there's nothing quite like it. Welcome along to race day.
So as I said, it's just going to be highlights from this one, so this video isn't too long. I mean, it's already half an hour, but we're looking for the soft, medium maybe, and lap 25 we came in for the first pit stop from P12 with Albon Maloney already doing his first stop. He's in P12 and onto the hard compound tyres, so 2.7 second pit stop from Albon, and now he's going to pass Gasly. There's yellow flags though, and Maloney overtakes Russell. He's up into P11, and we're going to see the overtake then going round the outside down to the straight past the fast chicane going into the final middle sector, and it's an easy move really with DRS, and it's a yellow flag, and that's because Magnussen has had a big crash, and well, looks like a big crash, and Albon's in now after with a VSC. He's into the pits on lap 43, but here comes Kevin Magnussen then, and we told Albon to pit as soon as we saw a VSC. He locks up, and it's quite a slow crash, isn't it? There's not even any damage really. I'm sure he could have actually got that out of the barriers, but you know, VSC and all is good. Juan Manuel Correa then crashing as well, and he's been hit as well. But by who? That's the question, because he's not locked up there. So let's see who he has been crashed into then by, and it is going to be one of them. Oh, it's Oscar Piastri. So Oscar Piastri, who's in P4, he's probably got broken front wing now, and he goes into the back of Juan Manuel Correa, who was a lapped car, so there was no need for that really from the McLaren driver. Final lap, and it's P13 and 14, and Max Verstappen wins the race from Norris and Sainz 17 seconds back from Norris. So then
over the finish line,
an alright result then here, 13 and 14, but not points from a P8 start, so surely that's quite disappointing.
How do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
They didn't do too badly today, a pretty respectable outcome as far as they'll be concerned, but they need to keep pushing. They can't afford to sit back.
And that's about that for this weekend here in Melbourne.
Next round will see us head east as F1 prepares for the Japanese Grand Prix. We'll see you at Suzuka, a firm favourite for the drivers.
So as I said then, we're going to go to Suzuka now. George Russell gaining 6 places. He's up into the points. We lose out here and do not get points, but we have performed good enough to get 1.4 million from the sponsors for the race. For the sponsors for the race performances, 14th and 18th done. Going back then, and we are going towards the Japanese Grand Prix. Jacob Murphy up to an 87 overall, so that is always good, the head of aerodynamics. And also that's about it then. So we need to get towards the Japanese Grand Prix, which we are going to simulate, of course. We're currently not 6th or higher, but that is our objective for the season. Overall, everyone is mostly positive. We're going to do an upgrade here. We're going to make the side pod upgrade then, and this is going to take, probably going to come in for the Miami Grand Prix, 33 days. It says it will take 30 days, so that will leave us 5 days to manufacture them. So hopefully we might be able to get that in for Miami on one car at least. Looking here then, and we're going to confirm the hire of one of the Joseph Loake or Loke the F3 driver. He's going to become our affiliate driver. Hopefully he can grow enough under us, and one day possibly, I don't know if he's going to perform, will probably be in our team, but you know, might as well. But also then looking at getting stuff on the car before the race weekend. We are here then in Japan. We are just going to simulate through the whole race weekend then. We're going to see what we can get through. However, at this point I was really tempted to do the race, but full wet race, I would have done it, but I also wanted to get through to the first sprint race in this episode, so we are just going to simulate this race.
Including the performance from the driver currently on our screens.
At the end of that, it's a 15th place finish.
Well, Max Verstappen can add yet another podium to his already impressive record.
Max Verstappen wins again then, and let's look at the results. Oh my god, we've got a point. Oh my god, we've got a point. That is embarrassing, but also really good. So our first point comes in a race that we simulated, but we've got a point. We've got a point on the board. Let's go. Who made those? Okay then, we've got 1 million, but for some reason our performance targets were 5th and 3rd. But coming back from the first point scoring weekend, someone's up to an 86 overall, and we're going towards the first sprint race here with China. We're looking at a regulation change though, and we're probably going to go for a minimal one just because I can, and I don't really feel like changing much on the car. We're also doing another upgrade there in the background, and everyone has voted against us. Cool. So we're going for quite a big upgrade. Well, regulation change for the next season in 2025. So we're going to see what we can do with that then. We're looking at the upgrade then for the tour center, upgrade for the helipad, and also the hospitality area, memorabilia room as well, and then maybe the weather center as well, because that is quite low. So everything going up another rating then, and hopefully that will improve everything. We're also upgrading the race simulator to improve growth of our drivers. We still have 21 million though, so we're going to see what we can do with that money. We're probably just going to get everything on the car that we need to before the race weekend. So everything is on the car, so let's go to
here
it.
in Shanghai, ahead of the Chinese Grand Prix. A visit to Shanghai International Circuit can only mean it's time for the Chinese Grand Prix. This state-of-the-art track combines high G-force corners with one of the longest straights on the calendar, and with space for up to 200,000 spectators, not a minute of action will be missed.
In this round, the teams have 2 races to contend with both the sprint and the Grand Prix offering the chance to bag some championship points.
So stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. The weekend starts here.
Here we are then, and it is time for the first sprint qualifying and sprint race here this season at the Chinese Grand Prix for round 5 of the championship of the season, and we are in SQ1 here. Of course, sprint qualifying is shorter than normal qualifying. We've only got 11 minutes-ish in Q1. So we're looking at it now, and Alex Albon goes P2, slower than Manuel Correa though, with a... oh dear, that was a bad lap by Albon, and he's probably going to have to go again. Maloney goes below him. Oh my god, we do not have pace around here. Oh dear. But by the end, Albon set another lap time, and it's good enough for P10. So obviously he put in a terrible time there, and so did Zane Maloney though. He's in dead last right now. He's got double green, and here comes Fernando Alonso. Don't you dare slow us down, I swear. If he tries to overtake us going into the fight, oh my god, he's done it. If we go out now, this is all Fernando Alonso's fault. Oh my god, no, it actually is. It's actually all his fault. We've improved, and we're out by 9 thousandths of a second. Oh my goodness, 900ths even. We would have had, he probably cost us a 10th there by going side by side into the final corner. Unbelievable. So Fernando Alonso has knocked Zane Maloney out of qualifying. Alonso getting through in P9. And we are in, of course, a battle with Aston Martin to get P6. So, unbelievable. SQ2 though now, and we're out with Albon. We've got 7 minutes to set lap time. He's the final one to come across the line to start his first lap here in China. And looking at it, it's P11 right now. As we go to set our second lap time, it's double green and across the line for Albon to go to SQ3, and he's done it. He's in SQ3. I mean, it doesn't mean as much as the Australian one, getting through to Q3, but SQ3, of course, you have to get P8 to get points in sprint race, so doesn't really mean too much, but we have knocked both of the Aston Martins out, so that's good news for us really then in the end. And Albon sets the fastest lap time at the start of SQ3, and towards the end we're going again with 85% tyre wear. It's double green still, and we're going to see what we can do as we come across the final corner and to the line with Albon. It's double green on 85% worn tyres, and it's P9 beating Daniel Ricciardo. Of course, that will be one place outside the points then if we stay there for the sprint race. Charles Leclerc gets sprint race pole then, and Zane Maloney unbelievably out in Q1.
Well, it's a different format this weekend, with a sprint set to spice up today's events. Of course, this is the first sprint of the season, adding an extra challenge for the drivers and their teams. But as ever, in Formula One, an extra challenge is an extra opportunity.
The big draw today is the opportunity to grab some extra championship points. After all, they could make the difference when the season comes to a close.
Well, it's not too long now until the sprint around Shanghai, where we'll see who comes out on top.
Sprint race time then, and of course qualifying after that. We're looking at the medium tyres then for the start of the sprint race. We're changing components as well. We're going towards a new fresh set of engine, and it's time to go to the start of the race where it's 5 red lights to the Chinese sprint race.
And it's lights out, and away we go!
And we are underway then here in China, and it's not a very good start. We've already lost a position to the V-car of Daniel Ricciardo, who's going up to P8 as well. We're down to P10 and up to P18. We're side by side with Zane Maloney around the outside of turn 1 and 2. We're on the outside of Juan Manuel Correa, now the inside for turn 2. And we should get that place then up into P18, and we do. Albon up into P10, or down to P10 then, after qualifying P9, Ricciardo up to P8. Aston Martin's fighting side by side behind us, and now lap 3, and Alonso's attacking Albon, and he's going to get the place here into P10. Alonso overtakes us in the sprint race for P10. Alonso then not towards the points, but of course P8 is points. Ricciardo's up to 7th now, and Maloney's overtaking Gasly going down the straight, and he is up into 15th on lap 13. And now Albon is being overtaken once more by Stroll this time, as Tsunoda and Ricciardo are up there. But Albon P12, not that bad really, considering, well, we weren't going to get points. We were P9. We started P9. We finished P12, and we're running out of fuel as we come across the line, which we do, and we fit perfectly into a lovely grid slot. Maloney finishing 14th.
There was certainly tough today, and it leaves many coming away from the sprint empty-handed.
There are many ups and downs in this sport, and now it's up to them to work hard and get ahead of the curve.
Here we go then, and sprint race over. Max Verstappen once again, but that was only the sprint race, so now it's time to go to the race and qualify.
Welcome everyone to qualifying. This should be a good one.
The Shanghai International Circuit is notoriously tough on tyres, so expect to see that factor into the team's strategies as they deal with this busy schedule.
So as we head into this qualifying session, Karun, how do you think Lando's going to be feeling?
We saw them set an impressive lap time in practice, so it's a great start as they move into qualifying. But as we all know, a good performance in practice doesn't guarantee success over the rest of the weekend.
Buckle up then, folks. It's almost time for qualifying.
Yellow flags then in Q1, and I do not know why. Sargent's locked up turn 1. That doesn't matter because Albon is in a flying lap in the final sector, so that will not affect him. He's come down the final corner to start his flying lap, I think, or finish it. Let's see. To start it then, to start his flying lap here in actual qualifying for the race, and Albon finishes his lap. And where does it put him? It puts him behind Carlos Sainz by 9/10, but ahead of Magnussen, and behind Magnussen will be Maloney at the end of Q1 then, and Albon P13. He's done here, but Maloney to get through to Q2, and he does in P15. But let's see who else still has to finish their lap time as we come to the final bit. We are both through to Q2, and first lap on Q2, and it's Albon who will lead Maloney towards the line. Albon behind Hulkenberg, but ahead of Alonso. Maloney ahead of Albon, 1/10 off Magnussen, going into the end of Q2 then, and we're starting our flying laps. Albon behind Maloney this time, and probably going to benefit from some slipstream. We're being held up going into turn 1 by a Red Bull, I think. Albon goes 14th, Maloney stays 15th. We're going to push on, but it's not going to be enough, and we're going to stay 14th and 15th for the actual race. So no Q3 appearance then, like in SQ3. We were in sprint qualifying, but we didn't do it. And Q2 results, Max Verstappen tops it, and then Q3, Max Verstappen tops it. He set the all fastest times in all the qualifying sessions. Let's go to the race day.
The 56 laps of the Shanghai International Circuit await our drivers here in China.
Shanghai has seen its fair share of clashes over the years, one of which happened even before the 2005 race had begun, when Michael Schumacher collided with Christian Albers on the way to the grid, sending Albers into the air.
Shanghai International Circuit is a complicated low-speed track that demands high downforce. The series of rapid turns from 1 to 4 demands high grip, but the more the drivers warm their tyres, the more degradation they'll have to deal with. The excitement is building, there's electricity in the air, but there's no surprise in that. It's race day.
Here we are then on race day, and we're looking at a two-stop strategy: hards to mediums to softs, or medium to medium to softs.
It's great to have you with us, folks, as we settle in for the weekend's Grand Prix action. And as we look to Logan Sargent, you can see the focus and concentration.
While I imagine many are looking at the other end of the grid, I'm keen to see what they can achieve from P19.
Right, let's get to it then. The excitement is building here in Shanghai. And it's lights out, and away we go.
And away we do go here for the main race here in China. Albon already up to P13, but there's a fight at the front between Verstappen and Perez. Verstappen and Perez switching positions at the front, but we're focusing on us, and we're P13 and 15. So, going through the first corner, we're battling with the Haas of Magnussen. He's still on the inside, but now he's made the massive dive down the inside. We're starting with on the hard tyres, of course, and we've lost the position down to P14. Now we're going down the inside once more on lap 3 with the DRS assistance, and we're up and back up into P13. Magnussen now under pressure from Albon as well, and he's going down the inside, and Albon's up to P12. Next up is Fernando Alonso for Albon. Maloney down to P16, and that's because Stroll has overtaken him down the main straight. But is he going to get it straight away? But Albon has also overtaken Alonso. Lap 4, and we've gained 4 positions just like that. We started P14 and now we're P11. That's 3 positions. But Maloney, he's now down to 16th, but by lap 5 he's overtaken Magnussen for P13, and Albon 1 place outside the points, but 4.8 seconds separate us from the points right now. Maloney overtakes Magnussen. And do we have DRS on Alonso? Yes, we do, but here comes Alonso on Albon, and he's going down the inside of turn 1 into turn 2, and he's on the outside, so hopefully we do keep the position. Maloney has overtaken Alonso. Multiple cars have crashed, and that's a yellow flag. But what's happened, I do not know. The Williams looks like it's going a bit slow at the back of the field, though. There seems to be a big gap opening up there, and it is the Williams. It's Juan Manuel Correa. He's going down the inside of his teammate Logan Sargent on the inside, and there is contact there. damage to possibly both Williams as they continue on. But it is 11 and 12 for us right now, as we try to get Maloney inside the DRS of Albon. It's not worked, and by the time Maloney hasn't pitted still, it's P14 for him. And Albon still in P11 on the hard tyres. Perez is now in the pits by lap 19. It's Maloney holding up Russell and Tsunoda, and we've got Albon in P8. So hopefully Maloney does a good enough job to hold these guys up behind and hopefully create a bit of a gap for Albon for when he pits. We're now in a fight with Russell, with Maloney, and he's overtaken us immediately, but can we get him back down the straight, just slow him down even more going down the straight? We've broken DRS actually to Yuki Tsunoda. We're coming in this lap anyway, so just slowing them down is good enough for Albon, and Maloney is going to come in now at the end of the lap, I think, as he does come in. So maybe we could have kept him out another lap and held them up even more. By the time Albon's in, it's 16th for Maloney, and both RBs and the Mercedes has already passed him. But just getting ahead of Magnussen here is crucial for Albon, and then when Alonso comes in, hopefully we can undercut him and increase the gap to him. So warming up the tyres now is crucial for Albon, and here comes Alonso then on the next lap, lap 23. It's the hards to the softs, and Alonso is back underway, but we should get him, and we do pass him, but it's going to be close between him and Magnussen. Here we go, and the gap is under a second, so he did lose time going longer, but he has now got the soft compounded tyre on. He might be doing medium soft, well, hard, medium, soft, no, hard, soft, medium, whereas we're doing hard, medium, soft. Yellow flag, and Magnussen, who was just putting pressure on Alonso, has now had a massive high-speed crash out of that corner, and it looks like that's going to be a virtual safety car, and it is. Surely that could have been a full course yellow safety car, but no, it's going to be a virtual safety car, which means we're not going to get bunched out, and the 17-second gap isn't going to shrink. But here comes Magnussen then for the crash. You can see Alonso in the background. He could have done such a good job for us, Magnussen, if he just kept him behind. We wouldn't have had any pressure, hopefully, for the rest of the race. We could have made a gap, but that is a big crash for Magnussen there, as he spins out in the first sector. But we're on a new medium tyres, so there's no need to pit with either of our drivers. It's P15 and P11 now, and virtual safety car ending, and for some reason under virtual safety car, my drivers go so much slower, and now the gap is 21 seconds to Tsunoda ahead. I'm not sure why that happens, but it does. I don't know if it has something to do with me like conserving energy, but yeah. Going down the inside though now is Fernando Alonso on lap 29. He's overtaken us, and he's opened up a 1 second gap, but through the middle sector we are so fast, and we've caught him back up. 9 seconds the gap now on lap 32 now. So somehow we have gained so much. Correa's crashed. Oh dear. Let's see then. Yellow flags were flying at the end of that sector. And here's why he spun on a straight.
Well, following a crash like that, it'll be important
How has he done that?
That any debris
he has spun it on the straight, the main straight. Like, if he was coming on off the... Well, Tsunoda comes in now, so we're going to see where he comes out. But if he was coming off the corner, like just before the corner, then it would make sense. That's a slow stop. Tsunoda has a slow stop. He has to wait for someone to go past him as well. And that means he's definitely going to come out behind Maloney. Now Maloney might be able to do a great job in holding him up once more, like he did a few laps ago when Russell came out with him and Ricciardo then. So we're going to see if Tsunoda closes up, which he does immediately. Yellow flag once more, and is it another virtual safety car? I think it is, but Maloney now, he's onto the soft tyres. We're not going to pit anyone else. Virtual safety car ending now. No one out of the race, so it doesn't really matter. Well, Correa's now out, but looking then, we've got 3 laps to go then here in China, and Ricciardo has got a mechanical fault, and the gap is falling. It's 5 seconds now. Final lap of the race. We've got Norris in front of us. If he's able to lap Ricciardo, then we might still have a chance. We're saving up the battery for the final straight. There it is. Look at the gap. The gap is falling between Norris and Ricciardo. Can we get Ricciardo still with DRS and ERS? And there it is. He's slowed down enough, and now the gap is a 10th. We're on the inside, but is it going to be enough? Not yet. We're going to have to pull back into the slipstream, and now Albon to get a point. He's sending it down the inside of the RB, and we're going to gain ground here as he's done it. Albon has made the overtake, and we're going to score back-to-back points here with Albon and he has made the overtake on the final lap on the final
Over the
corner
finish line,
to
and
make
today's winner.
us
As
point
always,
scorers
there will
once
be
more.
lots to talk about after that race, including the performance from the driver currently on our screens.
A 14th place finish today, no points and lots to think about.
And no doubt, Verstappen fans will be celebrating the Dutchman's achievement.
Win number 5 is in the bag. They pulled out all the stops, pushing hard to earn that victory.
And that's the podium complete for the Chinese Grand Prix. Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
It was a strangely mixed weekend for them. We saw one driver put in a strong performance, but it was a different story for the other. Definitely positives there though. Coming up next, the teams will be taking a trip to the Sunshine State. The Hard Rock Stadium is laying on the track for a captivating race at the Miami Grand Prix.
So then, another point scored. That's 2 points for the episode overall. And that puts us in 7th, and we've gained significant ground on our competitors, RB. Maloney finishing just outside the points as well in 14th. So, 5th or higher. I didn't agree to that though, did I? The agreement was 15th or 18th or something, not 5th. But still 1.3 million for some reason. Because we got 700k, I think we just got both of them as just being a bit silly. Manufacturing complete on the rear wing. That's already on both cars, so it doesn't matter. So, if you have enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, subscribe. And I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.